Hi, welcome to today's video. Today we've come back to North Yorkshire, right near Harrogate, not far from York, not far from Ripon, to a place called Knaresborough, a very mystical place that's been here for centuries. And I'm going to show you exactly why. But the question is this a place to come for a day or a place to come for a holiday? Let me show you around and see what you think. And as you can see, what a picturesque place. The viaduct, there's a castle, you can row on the river. It is one idyllic place to visit. So we're going to walk along the riverbank, give you an idea of what things are like around here. And you can see, nice summer's day, very busy. There is parking near the riverbank, but you've still got to walk to it. Nice little place to eat right next to the side of the riverbank to have a nice drink, etc. Have a meal.
Oh, going down there.
Fancy an ice cream.
There's a flat coat retrieving.
Another place just there. See if I can see price. No. £3 for a cone, £3.80 for a tub. Okay. Little cafe. Shops to have a look at. And all right at the riverbank itself. With Leilah today, she's come to join us. There's a little ice cream place. And then you walk right up to the viaduct itself. What an impressive bridge. Oh, we've even got a train for us. Can't be bad. What a beautiful English sight. People, river, just rowing boats down it. The viaduct that you see here is from 1851, but it wasn't the first one. The first one was built 3 years before. Unfortunately, they did it on the cheap, and it collapsed after only a few years of use. So they built this one and did it properly this time. To give you an idea of the costs involved in those days, this one cost less than £10,000 to build. So many places just balanced on the edge right over the river itself. I bet they get some spectacular views. Some over there with balconies, some usual seats on them. Just past the viaduct is this signpost and a nice little cobbled street that looks extremely steep heading to the castle. So we're going to walk up there now and see what that's like. Well, I'd certainly hate to be that person driving that car up and there each day. Oh, and there's even somebody, oh, there's quite a few up here. But look at this, lovely thatched cottage. There's not many thatched cottages about nowadays, certainly not in North Yorkshire, but that one right in this corner.
Just a very thin.
I just like it.
I don't know if you're getting an idea of how steep this is, but it isn't exactly an easy walk up. There is a pathway there. You feel the cobblestones between you on your feet as you're walking up. You'll also notice one or two houses here, black and white. Not exactly sure why, but there is a few that are black and white squares like that. Top of the hill, something you don't see many of nowadays, a gated crossing for the railways, but nice little subway here, so you can get through even when the trains are coming. That is certainly steep. Well, I'll tell you what, for a warm day, not exactly the ideal walk. Huffing and puffing a bit here. But let's see if it's worth it at the top. That's a train in the background you might have heard doing its horn. They always do it before they get to a crossing, just to give warning. Working Man's Club, basically the place we used to go after a full day's work. And sometimes you get some really Yorkshire shops. Right, so you got A Up Chuck, E Buy Gum. I think those are fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, as the winner of this exclusive and marvellous competition, it is the winner's privilege and honour to actually say a few words. First of all, to the judges, how incredible fine judges they are, with excellent taste, all I can say. And all the volunteers of Fever and Michelle, and the people of Knaresborough who have come out to see us today. Thank you all very much. Criers, in tradition manner, bells up!
Well, that was certainly something unusual, wasn't it? A bell crier, local town crier competition. Just caught the end of it. Something very, very special. Looks like they've come from all over the country for this. I noticed Sleaford there was one of the town criers. Stephen from Morley there. So there's quite a few of them about. So there's quite a few unusual shops in Knaresborough as well. It's one of those places where if you just came for the shops, that wouldn't be unusual. Bits of extra bits everywhere. And if you walk past the castle inn, the entrance to the castle is right next door to it. As you can see, there's a car park right next to the castle itself. Not a big one though. So if you're intending coming to the castle, you might want to look at somewhere else to park. As we enter the castle area around it, you can see it's quite a big place. What a fantastic looking old building. Right. So tickets are £4.20 for adults, £2.40 for children. That's not too expensive, that's a lot better than some. But we've arrived fairly late in the day, so we won't be getting a chance to have a look round this properly. But what we can see is the view, which is basically spectacular. Can't beat that for a view. And you can imagine, living in that castle, you'd have a fantastic view of anybody coming towards you. One of the more unusual things that you may not be aware of, the king actually owns this castle. This is officially his property, but he leases it out to the local community. I don't know if he actually charges anything for it. I would suspect probably not. It's probably more a technical thing than anything else. But officially, it is still the king's property, and he could take residence if he wished. It might get a bit wet when it rains, since it's not got a roof. Right, so we're leaving the castle now, purely and simply because we've arrived late and wouldn't have time to fully enjoy it. But what we will do is at some point come back and do a proper video on this castle, telling you some of the history about it, etc. Maybe when it's a little bit quieter as well, because it's very, very busy at the moment. So we're going to head back into town, and then we're going to go to somewhere that is really magical. There are quite a few shops, as I say, that have maybe got unusual names, like Six Poor Folk, which is a cafe. We've got a bubble tea place over there. Got you like to use Subway and whatnot, but if you're after something better to eat and you like pies, Appleton's. There's one in Ripon, there's one or two other places they've got them, but Appleton's make the best pot pies you can get. In my humble opinion, that is. I'm sure other people would disagree with me. But we're now going into the centre of Knaresborough itself, the marketplace area. And what always amazes me, we've still got phone boxes everywhere. Nobody uses them. But if you look at them, no phones in them. People like them so much that they've taken the phones out and use them for other things. Information, things like that. They're still here. Like many places in the UK, they have market squares. And today's not a market day, it's a Sunday, so obviously not available there for you to have a walk around that, but at least it'll give you an idea of what the place is like. Blind Jack's traditional ale bar. You've still got the standard ones, Thomas the Baker, Cafe Nero, all the places you expect in any place. but it's just got that little bit extra. Now, the story of Blind Jack is a very unusual one, because Blind Jack was blind. Surprise, surprise. But the reason why he's famous is because of the fact that he then went on to become a very successful builder and designer of buildings in the area. How somebody blind can design buildings, get them built, and he started on his own, is amazing. But that's why Blind Jack is a very important local person. Good few hundred years ago though now. The centre here is no different to most northern market squares, I would say. Few unusual shops, few you'd expect. Or as I say, I promised you something magical, so that's where we're going to go to now. There are many old buildings in Knaresborough, but this is one of the oldest, and they've actually been able to work out when the trees were chopped down to create this thing. It was actually in 1488 to 1490, and the Confessions of Sins from the early 1500s was found hidden in a beam, probably the work of the Penbury himself. St John's House passed out of church ownership in 1776, so very, very old. Got a bit of history. I'll put it in the notes what a Penbury is, because I have no idea, I'll be honest. But have a look. You can see what an old building. And now we're going on to meet a mother. Mother Shipton, or at least, if we can see, if we can get in, because we are running late, as I said before. Mother Shipton is something from the deep and deep history of Knaresborough, and got quite a few stories behind her. She was the Nostradamus of Yorkshire. The pub name behind us, the World's End, has a lot to do with Old Mother Shipton, because one of her forecasts for the future was this bridge here, the day it collapses, she says, the third time it collapsed would be the end of the world. It's collapsed twice and been repaired. So, let's hope it doesn't collapse today. And you can see we've walked right round to the other side of the viaduct, through the town, and here's the magical place of Mother Shipton. Now, it is shut at the moment, and it's not cheap to go in, but it is one of the most unusual places you will ever see. You're talking for a pedestrian it's £15, and for a car I think it's about 35-40 quid to go in. But it is a very unusual place with items that turn to stone in it, and the story of Mother Shipton herself, who was a deformed woman, and before the time of doctors and whatnot, you'd call her a midwife, full of magic and understanding of the ways of the world, knowing which herbs to pick to help cure your ill. But she also, like Nostradamus, told the future, and a lot of it came true. So you don't need to go all the way to Italy to see about Nostradamus. Come to Mother Shipton's cave. A few other little things that you might find interesting about Mother Shipton's cave is it was once owned by Paul Daniels, who was the top TV magician for the UK for a long time. It's changed ownership quite a few times because it's just, I suppose, cursed. Or is it? Well, we've come too late. The gates are shut. It's expensive, not something we'd necessarily go in today anyway. But I think it's well worth that trip. So if you want to go for a boat ride, £10 for an adult, £5 for a child, and if you're a family, that's 2 adults, 2 children, £25. A boat will hold up to 6 people, it says. Or I can think nothing better to spend Sunday afternoon just boating on the river, sun shining, on such a beautiful river as this. So, is Knaresborough a place to come for a day trip? In this weather, it's unbeatable. You have the boats, you have the castle if you want a bit of history, you've got shopping nearby. It really is a beautiful place. Mother Shipton, something very unusual. If you're in the area, it's well worth that trip over. Not cheap, but it's unusual. That's the point. You won't see it elsewhere. Is it a holiday destination that you'd spend a week at? No. You might want to spend a day or 2 here and then move on somewhere else. Personally, I would stay elsewhere and drive here for the day. Spend the time walking around and enjoying it, but on a Sunday, you can't beat it. Look at those boats. Fantastic. I think it's well worth coming. No wonder it has so many visitors every single year. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.